If you're picturing one nationwide rebate check landing in every senior's mailbox this month, stop right there, because that's not what's actually happening, and believing it could cost you money. Here's the truth: there is no single federal senior homeowner rebate. What's real is better in some ways and trickier in others. Dozens of individual states are running their own property tax rebate and relief programs, and several of them are mailing real checks right now, this summer. One program alone is sending out rebates worth up to $1,000. Another is sending quarterly checks that can add up to $6,500 a year. The catch? Almost none of these arrive automatically. You have to know your state runs one, and you have to apply. Stick with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly which programs are active, what they're worth, and the one habit that keeps seniors from missing free money every single year. Let's start with the biggest, most concrete example happening right now, Pennsylvania. If you're 65 or older, or a widow or widower 65, actually 50 or older, and you own your home, Pennsylvania's property tax and rent rebate program is mailing rebates as we speak. If your household income is under about $48,000 a year, and remember, only half of your Social Security counts toward that number, you may qualify for a standard rebate between $380 and $1,000. Some homeowners in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and Scranton, or anyone whose property taxes eat up more than 15% of their income, can get an extra supplement on top of that, up to $500 more. The rebates started going out July 1st. The deadline to apply was technically the end of June, but Pennsylvania has extended filing through the end of this year while funding lasts. So if you live in Pennsylvania and haven't filed, that door is still open. If you don't live in Pennsylvania, don't worry. I'm going to walk through what your own state is likely offering in just a moment. How you actually file, step by step, is coming up. First, let me show you why this matters so much, because I don't want this to just be numbers on a screen. Let me tell you about a woman we'll call Margaret. Margaret is 71, lives outside Scranton in the same house she and her late husband bought back in 1988. Property values in her neighborhood went up, her assessment went up with them, and her tax bill climbed nearly $900 in just 3 years. She's on a fixed income, Social Security, and a small pension, and that increase came straight out of her grocery and prescription budget. For 2 years, Margaret assumed rebate programs like this were only for people who are really struggling, so she never applied. When her niece finally sat down with her and filled out the form together, Margaret found out she qualified for the standard rebate plus the supplemental amount for high property tax burden, over $1,300 back, combined. That's not a hypothetical. That's the exact math built into Pennsylvania's program for someone in her income bracket and location. The lesson isn't really about Margaret. It's about the fact that these programs are quietly designed so that the state doesn't have to come find you, you have to go find them. Nobody mails you a reminder that says, "Hey, you probably qualify." The form sits there every year, waiting. If this kind of thing is useful to you, tap subscribe. I help seniors track down every dollar of benefits and rebates you're actually owed before the deadlines pass. Now here's a rehook. The next state on this list can be worth even more than Pennsylvania's, if you know how to stack it correctly. New Jersey is currently running 3 linked programs for seniors 65 and up: Anchor, Senior Freeze, and the newer Stay NJ program. Together, they're designed to reimburse up to 50% of your property tax bill, capped at $6,500 a year. It doesn't come as one lump sum, it arrives as paper checks mailed in quarterly installments throughout the year. The income limit is generous, up to $500,000, so this isn't just for the lowest income households. But you must file one combined application, called the PAS-1, and for the current cycle that deadline is November 2nd, 2026. Miss it, and you get nothing for the year. There's no grace period. But the next ones are where a lot of people assume they don't qualify, and they're wrong. If you're in Illinois, the Senior Freeze program just raised its income cap to $75,000 for 2026, up from $65,000. That single change opened the door for thousands of seniors who were shut out before. If you're in Texas, voters approved a ballot measure that tripled the additional over-65 school district exemption, from $10,000 up to $60,000, on top of your regular homestead exemption. Some homeowners are now shielding $200,000 of their home's value from school taxes. And if you're in New York, Governor Hochul signed a law letting local governments raise the senior homeowner exemption up to 65% of your home's assessed value, up from 50%, though your specific city or county has to opt in, so you'll want to check with your local assessor. Here's the rehook for the last point, and it might be the most important one. No matter which state you're in, these programs fall into 4 types, and knowing the difference saves you from missing money. An exemption lowers what your home is taxed on. A freeze locks in your assessed value so it doesn't keep climbing. A deferral lets you postpone paying, with the unpaid amount coming out of your estate later. And a rebate, like Pennsylvania's, sends you an actual check after the fact. Most seniors only know about one of these, when they might actually qualify for 2 stacked together. And because real money is moving here, this is exactly the season when scammers show up. If anyone calls or texts you claiming to be from your state's Department of Revenue and asks you to pay a fee to release your rebate, or asks for your social security number over the phone to confirm eligibility, hang up. Real estate rebate programs never charge a processing fee, and they never cold call asking for your personal information. All of these applications are free, and they go through your state's official.gov website, or by mail, or in person at a local assistance office. So here's what to actually do this week. 1. Find out which type of relief your state offers. Search your state, property tax rebate senior 65, on your state's official.gov site, not a random blog. 2. Gather your last property tax bill and last year's income documents, because most applications ask for both. 3. If you're in Pennsylvania, file before the extended deadline. If you're in New Jersey, get that combined PAS-1 in before November 2nd. And 4. If you already know a neighbor, a parent, or a friend over 65 who owns their home, send them this video, because the single biggest reason people miss this money isn't the rules. It's that nobody told them the program existed. If this helped, subscribe, and share it with someone over 65 who could use an extra few hundred, or a few $1,000 this year.